The Studio 3A name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the team's own. The material presented here is for entertainment and general information purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most original podcast.
Bridgeport.
We're here in Bridgeport, Black Rock.
Episode
Four?
five.
It's five.
And today's a special.
Yes, we have another guest.
Episode.
And shout out to everybody that saw the Indigo interview. And if you're just seeing us for the first time, go watch the Indigo interview and all the other podcasts that we have came out with. A lot of great conversations. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this to everybody you know, everybody that you love. Please, the support will definitely help. The likes, everything will definitely help. And well, that's all I got. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? We got a special guest.
Yes.
Chris, who we got here today?
Well, I mean, we have a very, very special guest.
Upcoming
Director, filmmaker,
Yes.
This is a treat, guys.
and
Really a treat.
CEO of I Am Art Entertainment,
Okay.
Shawn Smith.
Thank you guys for having me this afternoon at this time. It's a pleasure to be here.
You probably heard that applause. I couldn't hear it in mine because for some reason I can't hear those effects. But anyway, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for coming out and taking the time, man. I know you got a busy schedule, and it's a Saturday. People love chilling.
Okay, we're gonna get right to the questions already. So, what made you want to start or be a filmmaker?
About 20 years ago, God actually gave me dreams and visions of me making movies. So one of the dreams God gave me was me meeting director Martin Scorsese in a dream and me making a film and he looking at me saying, "Good job."
Oh.
And in the dream, I was given a budget of about $200 million. This is about 20 years ago. That story is similar to Tyler Perry, and actually over the last, I would say, 10 years, I would attend church, and a pastor of the church was actually an actor too. So over the last 10 years, God would navigate me in areas where I'd be working with people that were actually acting with Leonardo DiCaprio. And the ironic part about it is that, because I'm going to share a lot with you guys that I hope will help.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
The people that introduce you to the industry are the people that you assume that are going to help get you in the door.
Of course.
And I found out it didn't work that way. I thought that if you're working with Leo in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, that you should help me get into
Amazing
the position.
movie, by the way.
Right, yeah.
And no matter how religious and hopeful you think people are, it will not happen that way unless a person has a pure heart and desire to help. So I did get frustrated with that process. And I learned that you have to build your own table independently, and that's where you receive the respect.
Okay.
No, I agree. When they see you putting in the work all on your own, with no real help, no real support, it's like, yeah, this guy can do anything. He did it all by himself.
And what made you want to? So, if you guys don't know right now,
Give an intro of
Is the movie?
project.
Is the movie done?
Yes, the movie is complete.
And you're editing it by yourself. You have no other editor. It's just you.
Yes, it's all completely done independently.
And what's the name of the movie? That's about to come out?
It's called The Haunting in Terryville Part 1.
Copy.
So, I want to first share that, and I hope this helps people in their journey of filmmaking success. I have no formal training in film production. My background is I have a bachelor's degree in fine arts from Perry College of Art.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. What I remember is being in middle school in Meriden, Connecticut, and I walked by the audio-visual room, and for some reason, there was no one in the hall, but I stopped by the hall, and I put my hand on the door of the audio-visual room. I felt like I was supposed to be there doing something. It was impossible for me to think that I could do something I had no training for, but I walked by it, and that recollection hit me about last year that this was something that was always there, but I just did not know what that purpose was up until maybe 15, 20 years ago when I'd have these dreams and visions. That being said, with the dreams and visions, God gave me the dreams and visions that I would be recording celebrities on stage and shooting music videos and all that good
That's
stuff.
what I'm trying to do too.
And that actually happened within the last, say, 2-3 years. I've been able to work with celebrities.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, was he at film festivals or?
Can you drop name some celebrities you work for?
Yes, so I've worked recording for and with 50 Cent, all within.
Oh.
Yeah, so 50 Cent was within the last, I want to say,
Fucks with Connecticut hard. He does.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
50 Cent was last year. Most recently, Bobby Schmurder was 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Jim Jones was about 6 months ago.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Jim Jones
Oh.
from Dipset. Also, I worked with Dave East that night as well.
Oh, so
Dave East
oh,
fucks
you got,
with Connecticut
you
hard,
got
too.
connections.
Right. So
Dave
I've
East will
also
pull up for $1,000. He'll pull up.
worked with Styles P, who said that I was one of the best videographers. I've worked with Albie Al, recording for Albie Al. I've worked for Jim Jones Music Artists last year, Lord Jew and Stunna Dior. So I was on 2 music tours last year.
Damn.
And
I feel like I've seen you on online somewhere. I don't. Your face looks familiar. I feel like I've seen you before. Maybe that was in my athletic or something or high school. I don't know. But you are right though.
so
Yeah.
yes, what I will say is
You look like a director. I'm not gonna lie.
once I hit the age of 40, an opportunity presented itself to act, but I didn't want to act. I wanted to do production. I just wanted to get paid doing some production.
Like being behind the camera.
Right. So the director of this movie in New Haven says, Shawn, we can't afford to pay you for any production, but just come down to the audition anyway, and maybe you'll want to try acting. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do acting. But let me just, I felt like once I hit 40, there was no looking back. I mean, you can't reach 40 and have an excuse for why you don't pursue your dreams.
Sure.
So I went down to the first casting call, which I would say was the first opportunity for this entertainment business. And the irony of it all is when something is meant for you, even though I auditioned for the role, the director told me, he's like, Shawn, I knew you. You already had the role.
What?
He goes, it's because
It'd be like that. Yeah. It'd
And
be
I
like
knew
that.
Fire.
And I knew this guy from 20 years ago when we went to Jay-Z's Rockaware headquarters in New York.
Oh, Jamar,
So-
I gotta ask him about Kanye.
So all of these
I gotta
things
ask
were
him
happening,
about Kanye.
Let that be late.
Yeah.
and I knew it was happening. There was no one to reveal what was going on, but ultimately, before I get to the movie, what I believe my purpose is I believe that I was called to help people on their journey, and I think arts and entertainment was a platform that I was given to help people on their journey to become successful too. Because I will tell you, as much as I can remember now, I can't think of anyone who has had good morals and intentions toward the business of arts and entertainment, or really anything, except for me. And when I say that is because I've helped so many people on their journey to success. And most of what I've done,
Do you know who they are?
You want him to name drop?
Yeah.
a lot of people.
That's my question.
Right. So
Who?
I
If
don't,
you don't have to.
right. So I won't name drop now because a lot of my
Jay-Z?
networking connections are still connected to those.
Yeah.
You
You never do
Davies?
that. All right? You never do that.
So what I will say is the good thing about
Troublemaker.
Davies and Jim Jones is
Jim
for that
Jones.
particular venue, which is Van Dome in New Haven, I am
Yeah.
the exclusive videographer and photographer for
Really?
Oh, good.
one of the promoters there. So I have all the backstage
That's
access.
what
and
I
all
want
that
to get.
stuff.
Because
Is that where I saw you?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it sounds
Because I live
familiar.
in New Haven, and
Yeah, so I was.
I do photography too. So like,
Yeah, so
and
I was
that's
the
what I kinda wanna
videographer
do.
for that Jim Jones and Davies show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they hired. They called you. They were like, "We want you to
Yeah.
be the photographer."
So the
Or do
way
you work for Van Dome? low-key?
so the way it happened was, and everything that I tell you is the recipe for success. And I think a lot of people don't make it in this business because they don't realize that it's a business, and that's how you're viewed.
is.
As much as I'd like to tell you that there are good people, in order to be good, you have to have a heart to actually do good with good intentions.
Sure.
One thing I will say also is with the business, a lot of what you do in the beginning, you don't get paid for. I listen to people like Drake. I listen to people like DJ Envy that say when they're invited on tours, they don't get paid oftentimes in the beginning. They do it for promotion, which helped me get on tours.
And that's the best way. That's the best way I think to do it as well.
Right, and that's what happened to me. I didn't ask for money. I wanted opportunity. And soon, a little bit later on down the line, I will share some stories behind the scenes of what you don't hear and see behind the music industry that I've experienced with celebrities.
That's Van Dome to put a face to.
I know. I never went there because I thought it get like shot up all the time, so I never went to Van Dome. But
it doesn't always get shot up every single time.
Every time I heard about Van Dome, but the fact that they hire you to become a photographer there means that you're really good at your craft.
So here's the reality and truth of what will happen in this business for you, and it applies to everyone. It won't happen by trying to buy your way into the culture. What happened was I had just gotten off a tour, 2 music tours. That means you pay for your own travel while the music artists, they get paid. I don't get paid. On top of that, I'm also teaching an arts and entertainment class. I'm also teaching an art class as well. All this stuff, no one has offered to pay me for any of these services. All of it was free, out of my pocket. And no one seems to recognize when someone is doing a favor for you, maybe I should offer them something. That being said, the blessing for the movie, The Haunting in Terryville, Connecticut, Part 1, I offer them pay. I don't know if Kris got that, but I said, hey, I'm willing to pay you guys by the hour. No one accepted payment.
You said no? I would have said the same thing.
He's like, you said no?
You said no?
But that being said, I gave Kris the opportunity and exposure to attend events.
And that's the key word, exposure. Right. That's the key word in anything that you do. It's for exposure. Fuck the money, fuck all that.
And what he's talking about is absolutely facts from when I was doing photography for Stellar Blues, which was insane that Stellar Blues invited me to do photography for their artists. It's because Zakara, she did a gig. She did a gig at a art and gallery with Sanol's restaurant, and that's how I met her. I told her I'll shoot you for free, and I did great photos for her, and she invited me to do Stellar Blues. So I didn't get paid for Stellar Blues. Shout out to Zakara, by the way. Black women giving me all those opportunities and stuff like that. Tabiza, all them, and that resonates with me because it is very difficult when you're trying to get out there, but what you said about how you don't get paid and then you gotta like make sure you put money in to be available and be out there, it's that's the real part of the gig, and it's real hard. It discourages people, but you do get the networking opportunities. You do get the benefits from it. You know what I mean? If you work hard for it, it happens. I don't want it to be that way, but that's the way it is.
And I feel like that's a better way then. Because, like, if you're trying to do something that you love to do and you're getting money thrown at you, the next time you have an opportunity to do something, I feel like in your head you'll be like, oh, well, I got paid this much. I want this much from this person. And it's like, oh, well, it's this for free. I mean, if you're down, you should do it. Then that kind of corrupts your mind a little bit.
What I will say is, I had a plan. I had a strategy for what was. So over the last several years, I would listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes' ministry, and he would speak to me, telling me things like, you're walking past your gift every day. He goes, pick up the camera, start drawing, start recording. And I listened to that, and I walked by it wondering, well, what could this camera do for me? Because I had believed and knew that God opened a door for me, one example of how the door is open for you to do what you're doing is working in the business. You have to first get in the door. You have to get through security. You have to get to the music artist security. Yeah. You have to get to the promoter.
That's why I hate Toast
so much you have to get through. And what I'm saying is when you're called to do something, those doors will automatically open. So when I'm working with celebrities and doors open, what it looks like is, I'll give you an example. Working with 50 Cent. Here's how that happened. And I tell people, you can't just walk into a situation and have exclusive access to him.
Right.
What I did was I had to learn to walk in the role that I was in and that I was wanting to be, that I was trying to be, that I already was. But here's what happened.
Oh, damn.
I saw 50 Cent on a flyer.
Let's go.
You know, I saw him on a flyer at a package store.
That's a crazy ass line.
I came from the grocery store with my daughter, and it was last summer, and I had shorts and slippers on. Mm-hmm. I saw 50 Cent, and I said to my daughter, he's coming to West Haven. I didn't know that. But let me just see if I can just, you know,
Have
work
a
with him.
conversation. Yeah, have a conversation.
Right. Mm-hmm. And coincidentally, before I, no. So I go inside the package store and I tell the guy, hey, I'm a celebrity videographer and photographer. I see 50 Cent's coming here. Can I record him? Because
that's actually great. That's a great idea.
right. I said, can I record him
I do
and also give you guys promo for your package store?
I should start doing that too.
And for some strange reason, there was another conversation going on. But I told the guy, I said, I'm going to be recording 50 Cent next week. So I recorded 50 Cent the week after as well. Mm-hmm. So I told the guy, hey, I'm a celebrity videographer and photographer. I like to record 50 Cent. The guy's like, hey, 50's people come. I don't know what they're going to say. But hey, once they gave me that opportunity and said, but hey, whatever,
hey, you can
I
do
said,
whatever you
leave
want.
it up to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So once I got the opportunity to be in the building with 50 Cent, I had to act like I was there. I was supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I had permission from the store owner to be there. So when 50 Cent's people are like, what are you doing here? Because I'm in the room alone with 50. They're like, who are you? And I'm like, I can't tell them I'm here with the package store. Hey, the guy at the package store said I can come in here. And
They're like,
50.
who's this random?
Right. So what I did was I told them, I said, hey, I'm at Hot 93.7 radio station. And,
I've been thinking about that. Sometimes you might have to lie to get what you need to get.
You gotta
Because
get that.
right there. I was thinking that the other day, like, because I do photography as well.
Yeah.
And
You
sometimes
gotta sell yourself.
Kinda gotta, yeah.
You have
there
to
it
sell
is.
yourself.
You gotta sell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're right.
But here the irony is, I was actually working with Hot 93.7 radio station. So I was pitching a reality TV show to Jenny Boom Boom from Hot 93.7, and the first reaction you get is, oh, you know, we got a videographer. He's an Emmy-winning, and I'm like, no.
He's not me, though.
No, I'm like, at this time now, you've got to be in this. Yeah. There is no half-stepping in this business.
No.
Yeah.
If you're not moving constantly every day, week, or month, it won't work for you. You have to.
And that's why I sound crazy in the chat room, guys. I'm sorry.
You do.
What I had was, I had the dream that God gave me. And I knew whatever it is I was doing, nothing could stop me from that dream. So what I have done over the last few years is, I just watch music artists go online, and I'll directly hit up the casino. I'll hit up the music artists. I'll hit up the managers. And the doors that open for me. Right. So
24/7.
Here's a good funny story. Does anyone know Albie Al?
No.
The music artist? He's more
Albie
local,
Al,
like
nah.
Jersey and all that.
Okay.
Rapper?
Yeah, rapper.
I'm surprised.
So you say you kind of affiliate more with rappers?
Well, anyone. It just happened that I'm shooting an arts and entertainment documentary as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to work with music artists, and that's one way
That's
to get
in the industry.
Yeah, right.
Okay, copy.
So I wanted the exposure and all that, but here's how it works with the business, because it's just like you'd imagine on TV. So the rapper I see, I don't know who he is really. I think I might have saw a clip of him, but my whole thought was, let me just try to record a music artist. I see the music artist page. I'm thinking it's the music artist. I reach out to the music artist. Hey, I'm shooting a documentary for a Connecticut music artist. I'd like to shoot the documentary for this particular artist coming to town. And then the artist on the page reached out and gave me the manager's information. I'm like, that's difficult.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Just
Yep.
so I reached out to the manager. Hey, your music artist just gave me your information. Said, hey, I can come to the show that you guys will let me shoot a documentary. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, come on this day and this and that, and meet the manager and meet the best friend and all that stuff. And I'm like, sure. You know, make a long story short, it wasn't even the music artist. It was somebody that knew the music artist.
I was like, oh hell no!
Yeah.
But at the same time, you were still
But
in the door.
Here's the jewel on this. Everything that he's saying, it's literally when people ask me, how you get so many fucking guests on your
hit 'em
podcast?
up. You hit him up.
You could build a relationship with not only that one artist, but you get involved with the agency.
The team, yeah, the team.
No, the agency that
That's what I need to
hires
start
the manager that's a part of the whole project. And that agency will email you a list of artists once a month, twice a month. Oh, do you want to interview this one? Do you want to interview this one? That like once you get in, they'll keep coming back. You just gotta be able to do what he's saying. Like, you gotta be able to like everything he's saying is literally
I've been doing it for
like I'm in the beginning
12
stages.
years.
You know what I mean? But that's literally similar to how I learned. That's how I learned to be able to get all these guests, all these artists and stuff.
Even
Like,
in New Haven.
you
New
know
Haven
what I
is a poppin' place, so you can get
Right,
gigs
great. It's a great
anywhere.
city.
in
They
New
don't
Haven,
ask for
at
money.
any time.
They don't
too,
ask
bro.
for money at all for interviews. Only like the
Yeah.
real higher up levels.
No,
Like
I'm
I
saying,
paid $500
New Haven is a
for
hot
a
spot.
mafia guy to get on.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
The
But he was
CIA
the only
guy?
one that asked for money. He's the only one.
So there's a lot that I will say. Everything is important, but what I will say with the business, there's one commonality that's true with the business. When you are in the business, working with people in the business, it is very fast-paced and serious.
Very much.
When I say fast-paced and serious,
Yep.
working in the mental health field, even with Kris, I've been in this field for almost 20 years.
Oh, really? I know that.
Also, you guys, that's how y'all met?
Yeah,
Right,
way
right.
back.
Wait, you-
You so quiet.
You know what got...
Share this so we can
2015,
know.
2016.
I know, right? Right.
Continue, my guy.
Right. So working with people for a living is what helped me to navigate how to communicate.
Shout out
and
to
work
you
with
guys
people.
for doing that, because I can do that.
That's dope.
Yeah, I know.
I might
some
smack
people-
somebody. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Or
some
break somebody's
people-
bone. It's like, damn it, my bad. He's trying to hit me. It's like, you're compelling, you know. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
No, don't cut that out. No, keep that in.
Okay.
So
What?
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Pussies. Yeah, cut that out too, pussy.
So the reason why I was in this field
Let's see.
is because I grew up in foster
Cut that out
care.
too, nigga.
So I believe that working, with kids was me repaying back the fact that DCF helped me in my transition of life and
Oh,
college
wow.
and all that good stuff.
Oh, shit.
So it's repaying it back. I also think that a part of what I'm doing was for my own mental health, as a youth growing up and living with life and, the situations that I went through. Also, my prayer 20 years ago was effective communication. And that helped. So working in this field, I would not have been successful working with people in the industry without the background working with mental health.
True.
That being said, what I will say
That's
as
deep.
far as the business is concerned, and it's for anyone, I can discern very quickly who is going to be successful and who won't at whatever it is they'll do by this one thing.
Can you tell us in this circle who's going to be successful or not? Just kidding. Maybe later.
So,
But
Let him finish, bro.
Not you.
Chris, trying to make attention, man.
nigga, I'm over you, nigga. What the fuck you talking about?
Relax.
Stop playing. All right.
so I can spot talent from a mile away. That being said, that's one thing that you're in a business when you could spot talent. 10, 15 years ago, I could not tell what a hit
job.
record would
They
be
gotta know talent.
or who's talented. It only came in time. So about the business, when you want to get into this business, here's how people react and treat people. It's very fast-paced moving, and it's very discerning. Everyone has a motive, and that motive is money and time.
Yep.
They're looking for money, and they don't want their time wasted because it costs money. So every celebrity, anybody I've worked with, everyone is super serious, and everyone's just got this mug on their face like, what are you doing here? What's the purpose? What's the reason?
I feel like their time's being wasted, sort of, right?
Right, because they're trying to get the most out of what they can get. And what I'm saying is, people that are like, I want to do music, or what do I feel like doing today? Or they will never make it. Because what I'm saying is, any sign of weakness, laziness, slothfulness, you're working with management, you're working with promotional people, you're working with music producers and all that stuff, and they expect you to be on your A game every moment.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, even though I knew this already, I would get feedback from different shows I got where people would say, Shawn, you're very professional. These people, these music industry people, are talking behind your back about you.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Right, whether you know it or not, you think you're
You
just
gotta
somebody.
know. You gotta remember that part. That's a big part. That's why. That's why I always say that. I'm always analyzing and trying to look for myself on how I can do betterment with graphic designing on a thumbnail, or how I could make a clip better, or what color should I use for the caption. make sure it's legible, make sure your hashtags are on point and all that stuff like that.
And that's what we're gonna work on with the movie and all that stuff.
Right,
and I'll
right.
be able to give you guys.
So then,
insight.
do you agree with Kanye West be saying about all this bullshit?
So
To be honest, be dead ass.
Okay.
He
I wanted you to wait, but you want it now.
he be speaking facts, but he's speaking facts in the wrong way. Because some of the things he's saying,
Oh, okay.
is
I get what you're
kinda
saying. Like
true.
he's trying to give advice, but it's
but he's
the
doing
way
it
he's
wrong.
doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but like,
So, what is? I watched the documentary on Netflix, Kanye West documentary, and what I listened-
documentary?
Yeah.
Documentary. Yeah, it
even
was
know
it
that.
was really good. Oh, it was real good.
have you seen the recent
I haven't
interview with
seen it
Kanye
yet,
West
but-
recently?
Oh, not the recent interview, but I know he's done a.
He's going off.
yeah,
He's
beautiful.
unhinged as a mother. Right.
Right.
Yeah, but what do you think about? Because Kanye West also talks about that too, as in like you're in the business, but there's people behind your back talking shit about you every single second. And how do you stay in that or keep that?
So for me, because my motive and intentions are good, I've only gotten good feedback for the right reasons, especially if
There
you're
it
not
is right
asking
there.
for money.
As long as you have good motives, you always get
Right.
back good motives
Right. So
or good things, I guess.
I also use the business to leverage my business.
Of course.
But with the Kanye West situation, his mother in his documentary on Netflix, she tells him to slow down and be humble.
Yeah.
Don't try to move so fast in this industry. And
did
she
the
kept
whole
trying to
opposite.
tell him this in a very
You know
most
why?
humble way.
Because-
Whereas your best friend is going to
Probably stab you in the back.
Yeah.
well, on your way up, your best friend is going to tell you, "Chill out, man. You're moving too fast." If you have a best friend,
Yeah.
And
That
his
sounds
mother
right
was
here.
trying to tell him that, and I believe with Kanye West's, it was the process. He moved too fast in an area where he could have just paced himself, like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That pacing.
Yeah, Jay-Z's very.
And at the same time,
pace.
too, his mom also passed. So when that happened, that was a total 360 switch for him. Especially like you going on air or on TV shows after a sibling passed away. He's probably going through a lot of stuff, and people always have him as a higher, rapper because he's a genius and he makes amazing music. He really does.
Yeah, fundamentally, there are some principles of life, and I think if I had to attach it to one thing, because people suffer loss all the time, you'd never know it.
Sure.
They're
What I
so
think
good at hiding.
his
it, too.
just
For
his,
him, it was on air. It was just a crazy
yeah.
thing, bro.
his downfall was just
You
humbleness.
said that earlier.
Yeah.
I think
He
if,
thinks he's a god at this point.
I mean, we all are.
if
No,
if
but
he
literally
were
does.
humble,
Me too.
he would be
Kidding.
one of the greatest of all time concerning anything.
Yeah.
True.
Uh,
True.
because his work spoke for itself,
Yep,
and
the
that's all he had to do
music-
is let the work speak. Because he was already
Boom.
getting paid. He
It's
was
great work too.
almost a billionaire.
Amazing
So
work.
Yeah.
He said
more.
he said today on Twitter he hated Dark Fantasy. He hated that album. He was like, "Why
It
did I
wasn't
make
his
that album?"
best, but-
Even though his album, let's be
good.
honest, my favorite album from him is probably 808s, Heartbeats. That was the first I heard.
Not college dropout.
No. The first song I heard from Kanye, of course, I heard Through the Wire, but because I'm not really into, I like rap, right? But I like R&B. I like singing a lot, and I'm also like metal, post-hardcore, and all this stuff. But hearing a rapper sing, obviously Drake and everyone do it, like even Ja Rule, 50 Cent, they've been doing that shit too. But seeing him with his production sing Love Lockdown, because he made that album after his mom died, so he put in, that was an amazing album. And I think that's the album that made me want to make beats after hearing that album. So Kanye West is, like, he got some good shit.
Yeah, I could never take away what he did. And my thing is that like what differentiates him from like celebrities that do awful stuff.
He's not scared.
He's saying all this stuff out of his mind. He's not actually doing like wild,
Yeah.
scandalous actions.
I agree.
And like that's my issue with celebrity culture. You know, we're ready to judge celebrities more than we should be judging a politician on the same level. In my opinion, we should be like, oh, y'all are awful. Y'all voting for all this ish. Don't vote them back in again. You get what I'm saying? But we're more comfortable with going after
It's the money.
individual
They
over celebrity.
seen green. They
You know what
seen
I mean?
green.
He's wrong as hell for having the whole Nazi insignia, all that stuff
He
going
said he
wrong.
had it because
But
they showed,
it's just so
apparently
weird.
they hurt us, so it's time for me to show them that they hurt.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
foster.
being.
It's like, man, at the
But
same
he's
time,
being
it's like-
exactly what he's saying. That dude's not humble.
that's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
When
it's
you
not
said like the celebrities behind your back will talk shit about you.
Yeah.
So here's why all of this is happening. And me being spiritual, what I can say
I'm
is,
spiritual as hell too.
based on my experiences, I can prove my experiences based on what I read. So if something says slow down or you're going to get into a car crash, if you obey the law, you know you probably won't get into a crash. You don't obey it, you're going to get into a crash.
How about if it's written by AI?
So what I will say is, well, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But-
I got hella questions.
But here's why everything is happening with Kanye. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, be careful. I'm just paraphrasing. It says, be careful about your sins because they will find you out. The very things that you're judging are going to find you out and expose you. So all of what's coming out is what's on the inside. So the more you judge and the more you condemn and criticize and do all that stuff towards other people, the Bible says if you judge yourself, you wouldn't have to judge others. If you work on yourself, you wouldn't have to work on others.
Wasn't he religious though too?
He
He
may have been
made a whole
spiritual.
God album.
Yeah.
But that being said, what I'm
Man, he
saying
just
is
switched. It's like weird as hell.
that's why it's important to check in with yourself. Jay-Z said he's very observant and he's not quick to make decisions. He listens
Yeah,
to
facts.
his inner self.
You gotta-
So
facts. You
what
gotta do that.
you're getting from Kanye is what's on the inside, which is a whole lot of human confusion. That being said,
madness.
I guarantee you, if you, like Kris, like me, anyone, spent time working on our own mental health, helping ourselves by helping each other as well, he would be one of the greatest of all time.
True.
And there's no doubt. I don't think anyone debates
And
that.
as well too, I don't think he has like friends. He doesn't have friends to talk to. I think Kanye is just by himself. That's why he gets all these images. Because like you said before, like you don't have anybody be like, yo, Kanye, chill. Why are you making that?
Right, you got a lot of yes men because they're on
A lot
the
of-
payroll.
That's what I think. He got a lot of yes men. You need niggas like us to be like, yo, relax. I don't know why you're doing that. I know you're about to drop an album soon, but you don't need to do this. But
That's
the thing
some
is,
violence.
he don't give a. He don't care.
But on
And I
the,
kinda like that.
I'm curious
I'm
to
not
the
gonna lie.
question. I'm curious to
I'm
the
not
question
gonna lie.
about saying that you found out that people were talking
Behind the back,
about
yeah.
you behind your back. Have you also seen any trends of people like copying a certain way you would do things, or
Oh, that's
coming up with concepts
actually a pretty
that
good
were
question.
kind of similar that you did?
So what I will say is I'm going to segue as fast as I can by answering that and telling you, when you said copying, over the last year or two, all I tried to do was help people. And yes, I would see copying. There's certain video editing effects that I use. Then I see other people using the effects as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That always happens though, right?
Right.
But
That being said, I want to tell you about the other side of the business where you
Let's go.
do have conflict. That being said, you're working with celebrities, you're on tour, you see the good, bad. You never see me posting anything bad.
No.
But I've got stories for days. So let me just give you one story and you guys could take this, you go wherever you guys want with it.
course,
But I
of
just
course,
want to
of
tell you
course.
some of the fun stuff that no one's ever heard about your favorite music artists.
before that, how was 50 Cent in person?
So I'm glad you asked that question. So here's what happened. Once I got the opportunity, I was like, I'm in. I got to get what I need. And it surprised me. I have an entry-level camera, a regular, $800
I
camera.
got a 4000D camera.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm in the building and I'm like thinking to myself, as a mental health worker for so many years, we're in a room that is smaller than, between this room and this, it's probably like half of the size of
Damn.
that cabinet, and right here is the room. Between that cabinet here, I'm in a room as big as that with 50 Cent. And make a long story short, people are coming and going and their security and all that stuff. And what I make sure I do is I I always just keep a positive attitude, but I learned to network and talk to the police officers, to the security guards, to all the people.
Have to.
And they're grilling you, looking at you, at who you are. And I said, I said whatever I said that can get me there.
Yeah, I'm a photographer.
And then I'm alone in the room with 50 Cent, and I just looked at him as he's signing his Get Rich or Die Trying, album, and I said, "Happy birthday, Fifth," because it was like July 15th or something like that, and his birthday is July 6th.
Oh, wow.
And he looked up and was like, "Thanks," and then put his head back down. What I took from that situation is, when no one's around, he was a regular person that I could see working in the mental health field that was going through his own struggles. From my personal opinion, and I have unreleased footage of a lot of these music artists that I'm going to put on my documentary too.
Really? Oh, let's go.
Mm-hmm. So he's looking down, and he kind of looks like he was just tired, which he could be. Yeah. His head was down. He didn't say anything much.
He's probably tired of it. He's probably been doing this for so long. He's probably like,
right.
Yeah, I got this
but
again.
Then when other people entered into the room, it was like, yeah, what's up? Like I'm recording him, and then when people come into the room, then he's like 50 Cent again,
So he has to portray a character sometimes. I guess when his boys come into the room, I'm assuming it's his friends that came into the room.
And I was recording him and taking pictures of him coming from the bathroom back to the area he was going, and he looked at me, and then he looked down. And what I gathered from that is, what I noticed with people in the business, and I can tell you this about Styles P. You guys know Styles P, right? From the Locks?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Legend.
And this is what your intuition, your instincts, and energy will tell you everything about someone. 50 Cent looked at me like, this guy sees me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Because I see
right
through people.
Okay.
He looked at me and he looked down. He didn't look me in my eye. It was kind of like he knew that I was different from everyone else.
Mm-hmm. He thought you looked at him as a real person, not a celebrity. Not a rapper. Right. You saw him as a person. Right. Not like a person that you can strive off of or a celebrity.
Which is why it's a good segue.
Which is great.
The stories that he's about to tell us too.
You should always do that to anybody. You should always do that to anybody.
That being said, I noticed his energy shifted towards me in a way that was different. So let me just compare two artists from the energy you get. So 50's energy towards me was, this guy's here a part of media on some small level.
Media guy. Media guy.
That being said, Styles P. When I was on stage recording for Styles P.
Oh,
Styles P. Too? Yeah, I was on. Well, yeah, I'm on stage. That's how I'm able to do all this stuff. So all these events, I'm on stage.
That's what I want to.
Which is why I'm mad at Toad's Place for blocking me not to be on stage when I had literally a paid gig with an artist. But all right, Toad's Place. Toad's Place, you ever worked at Toad's? You ever?
They're hiring right now, Jamar.
I was offered to go there, but I want to know.
They're hiring.
No, it's not about the hiring. Horrible place. They don't like black people. Let's just put it out there.
I just want to know how it went for you.
I had an artist. Shouts out to Jay Hoodlum. He's a New Haven artist. He hired me to do videography and also photography for his show. He was opening up for a very popular rap group that we don't really know anything about. They're like 20-year-old kids.
I'm gonna show you one of my works.
And I tried to go on stage. I was blocked. I tried to go inside, tell them that I am here, and showing them the proof that I'm hired here. I was blocked. And they gave me this, everybody says that they do photography and all this stuff like that. And yeah, it was just a very uncomfortable vibe the whole way around.
Best shots I ever took. Ever.
Who's that?
Whitney and Gabby.
They're a local band.
They're also, and shout out to them, they're playing in, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Totally cut me off.
Sorry. So there's a festival June 15th in Windsor, Connecticut. It's a brew fest. And apparently they're the only band playing there. So I'm going to go there and do photography for there too. I'm excited. But
yeah, so I can give you guys
Toad's Place is absolutely trash.
Well, I can give you all the tips and tricks.
I've been doing photography since like 2015, but I never got serious with it. I'm only doing it like with friends and if people ask me to come out, I'll do it. I got paid like maybe twice. I got paid like $200 for a wedding, which is awesome. Months ago, I went to photograph those guys at a performance. They paid me $100. I didn't ask for no money at all. I didn't ask for nothing. I'm always down to always do it for free, because at the end of the day, it is exposure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you finish your story, but then I'm gonna give you guys the quick how I did it. You know, which is completely funny.
Yeah.
It's like
You got tattoos too?
They let another photographer on, by the way, who was
Wait, what?
yeah, they did, and he wasn't with nobody. They let him on.
Toads.
They let me on, and I was the one being paid. But Toad's Place, there's a reason why a certain crowd.
Toast, man. Come on, man.
There's a reason.
Get your
why.
game up, dude.
It's a legendary venue.
Because I never had that
Legendary
issue
venue.
with Cafe 9. Didn't have that issue at all at Cafe 9. They even let me in their green room.
Nice.
I didn't
Well,
have
Cafe
that
Nine's
issue
smaller
at
though
Full
than
of Blues.
Toads, I think, right?
Yes, but Toad's Place is still small, bro. They're not a big venue. They're not. They're just
It's bigger than
medium
Cafe
size.
9 though.
They're like 2 times the size of Cafe 9. They're not.
Who's
they're
the most
not
famous
like the
artist that
largest.
played at Cafe 9?
The
Nobody.
most famous artist that played at Cafe 9?
Nobody.
You got to look into
I don't
that
know.
because I don't know. I heard Lady Gaga was at the joint that we was at in Manhattan once. What
the
was it
bitter
called?
end. The
Yeah,
bitter
the
end.
Bitter Ends. And that's a
That's where
small
she got
ass
famous.
venue.
What the fuck?
They couldn't have
Lady
it.
Gaga.
Yeah, she was there. Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, what else you was gonna say? That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, Toad's Place, you fuck it up, man.
and that's a lot of what I have to say about the energy when you walk into a room as well. 50's energy was like me seeing him. He didn't look like he was prepared for that. That being said, I was on stage with Styles P. Styles P, in the middle of his show, he stops and he goes, "You're one of the best videographers." So I have all the video of that too.
That's dope.
Fire.
That was like
blessed by Styles P. That's
that
dope.
was a blessing from God.
Yeah,
him
man.
saying that.
That's dope.
That being said, what I want to tell you guys about where you guys are going and what you're doing is, if you do the right thing in life towards whatever you're doing, if you're trying to make films, if you're trying to do photography, do it with the right motive and intent. And without trying, the opportunity will present itself to you. Now, you might have to make a few phone calls, but when that door opens for you, it opens for you.
Right.
So I'm an exclusive videographer for a promoter. And when I went on stage, the promoter looks at me and goes, "You're the only one that has backstage access to these music artists whenever. And how much do you want to get paid?" When he asked me how much you get paid, I was like,
That's the question.
I said, I don't want to get, I said, let me just record for free. And if you like what I have, then we can talk business.
There we go.
Good. You can come out. And then also, the club also needs a videographer, photographer, and they're looking for someone. Can you work? I was like, sure. I didn't ask for money because I didn't want to be held down to money and someone calling me about this, that, and that, and the third. Plus, I'm still working.
Quick question. How did you get to that point? Where now you're starting to meet celebrity and you're doing photography. Okay. How did you get there?
Great.
'Cause that's what I need to know.
Great, because this is how it's going to happen. And that's why I think I was put here, is to give the exposure, how to take what you're doing to the next level. A lot of people tell you, but I want to know exactly what happened and how to do it. Yeah. So what happened was, maybe 20 years ago, this thought came to my mind, I am art. Now my brother name was Art and he passed away. And I also went to art school. Yeah, I went to art school.
Yeah, he explained a little bit of this.
No, I know, but like art and then the name is art. That's crazy.
Right. So the name came.
That's great. That's
he
pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
Right. So then I started with the name I Am Art, and then I took that. Now that was a God-given epiphany or something for what it was.
For sure.
But I knew I had to work whatever that was. I knew I was called to do something with the arts and entertainment. So I just kept putting out I Am Art and having art shows and submitting my artwork.
Okay.
With the name I Am Art for 10 years, and it felt like it was going nowhere.
And you LLC'd it?
No, I didn't LLC it because there was no cash flow. With LLC, you got to pay every year.
Every year. That's why I ain't doing it right now.
I YouTubed some guy that says, when should you start a LLC? And then one of the things the guy said was, if you don't have any cash flow and no assets to protect, having an LLC with no cash flow,
It's probably pointless.
right.
That's what they don't tell you.
Going, now it's good if you want to trademark, but I had nothing. Let's be honest. Until you start putting your stuff on platforms. That being said, I am going to do the work. But here's how it happened. I would say about 8 years ago, I kept the name I Am Art, and then I said, I got to take this thing to the next level. And then I was like, what if I put entertainment after I Am Art? I remember sitting in my apartment, and then I said to myself, because I'm a little bit fearful, I said to myself, do you know what that means if you put entertainment at the end of I Am Art? That means you got to go out there and do some entertaining,
Yeah. True.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do this and I can't look back. I was so self-conscious and afraid because of what it looks like. Right. But I made that decision to do IMR Entertainment, and I said to myself, that means you're going to have to network with people, go out into this, industry, which was good being in
Put
the
yourself
Navy.
out there. You got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Once I put that IMR to my name, it was a brand.
So who was the first? Was the first artist 50 or
no?
Like, who was the? Yeah, I want to know who was the first celebrity that.
Let Kris
put
get a
you-
question.
Well, it's not even that. I think we already talked about that. We already talked about that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, he talked about some of the artists he's already worked with.
No,
Who was the
I'm
first
saying how
artist
he
that you
got
did
to that
film? The
point
first
where they
celebrity.
called him.
You're asking about the first celebrity that he
Like
filmed?
they called you back. It was like, hey,
Okay.
I want you to do this. How did you get that?
And that was the blessing. Social media. It was Albie Al, who works with just everyone.
Okay,
he's got
so yeah.
videos with Jay
Right.
Everyone.
Gotcha.
Albie Al through social media. And that's where it's at. And I knew this. Social media is where you will become, and I would still say any streaming platform is still kind of social media.
streaming,
Yes, you're right.
Reaching out to the person, I didn't know what to expect. The person opened the door to me. I thought it was the music artist. Gave me the manager's number.
Oh yeah, he said it was the assistant. Yeah.
Right.
Agent.
And that opened the door. And after that, even though it didn't work out, after that, they called me and said, and I'm just starting this stuff. Now, this is the good part. This is for you guys. Now, this is the good part. I just started doing this stuff. Just got a camera. I don't know what I'm doing with this camera, but this is for you guys. I shot the video for Albie Al, shot him doing a documentary, just chilling.
Video recording?
Yeah, a camera, yeah. And then after,
What camera was it?
It's Canon Rebel T7i. I mean, I shot it.
Yeah, that's my
shot the
camera.
movie.
Best camera in the world.
It's a beginner camera, entry level. But
it is.
what makes it better is editing and lighting.
Yes.
So here's the thing.
That's why I like it.
So here's the thing. After I shot the video, I'm like, hey, I want to get some more footage. Can I come, to meet you guys and all that stuff? And I don't even know who Albie Al really was. It just was, I went on social media, so I'm connected with everyone. So after shooting a documentary, his people, even though his people called me for their motive because they want to make money doing what they do, Albie Al's people call me and say, hey, Shawn, we want to know if you can shoot a music video for Albie Al. I'm like...
Of course.
I've never shot a professional music video before.
Yeah, but I'll do it.
They're like,
I've been asked that, and I said no twice.
Me too.
So, did you went through it? And
Well, so here's how it happened. So, Shawn, we want you to come out to Jersey on Wednesday. It's going to be a pool party, have a bunch of chicks, and just shoot a music video. And I'm over here like...
that's a gold mine.
Did you have to edit it too?
Huh?
Did you have to edit it too, or?
But here's the thing what happened. I didn't know how to shoot a professional music video. I was still learning.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Lucky.
oh, yeah, I will show up on Wednesday and shoot the music video.
Why not?
But
If you got the opportunity,
He took
do
the
it.
job.
If you got the opportunity, do it.
All right, hold on. Wait, continue.
But there was someone else there, and I was like, listen, man, I just started out doing this. And someone told me this before. They said, Shawn, before you start working with people, just be honest about what you're capable of.
Exactly.
Don't sell yourself on something you can't do. So I told the guy, I said, hey, I'm just learning this stuff, but this was a dream of mine, and I'm passionate about it. So the guy tells me, Albie Al's best friend tells me, he's like, Shawn, I want you to be the director of the video because you just said you're passionate about it. He goes, we'll pay you for gas and whatever we can do. And I was like, hey, whoever else you got that was the second in line, can you make him work with me and help me? He's got a better camera.
Yeah.
So
Shouts out to Bates.
the other guy couldn't make it because he didn't have a car. I'm like, what am I gonna do? He doesn't have a car, and I only had one battery for the camera at the
It's your
time.
first time filming. You're like, oh, I don't know what am I doing.
But I was gonna show up because he goes like this. He goes, Shawn, we want you to shoot the music video, and guess what?
Is the video out?
I'm not sure. Wait, let me finish.
Yep.
So the guy's like, I can't show up for the video, and then the video was in like 2 days, and that's how the business works. It's very fast paced. So I called my boss, and I'm like, I never asked you guys for nothing. Hey, can I have the day off on Wednesday? Gives me the day off, and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Luckily, God knew what was for me and what wasn't, because a day or two before, first after they gave me the opportunity, he goes, Shawn, after this music video, we're doing a TV show. We're working on something like a TV show. I can't tell you more about that, but we need
Doors
you.
are opening.
Yeah, but he's like, after this show, we need you to work with us with Method Man, Havoc from Mobb Deep. We just want you to do all this stuff.
Who are you?
Now, the TV show actually came out and all that
they
stuff.
do, bro.
And I felt it. I'm like,
dude, we got.
Same.
and I started posting it online. I'm like, hey, expect
But
me
Jamar, we
working
could
with this,
do
that,
this
and the third.
too, bro.
2 days before the shoot, the guy tells me, hey, Albie Al's best friend died. He said he had it to Dominican Republic. The video shoot is off. I'm like, whoo!
Damn.
Right? I don't know what I was going to do.
I just started. I'm glad that that's
Rest in peace to Albiel's best friend.
Rest in
by the
peace.
way.
But that's fire.
Right. That being said, the communication was like this. If you're working in the industry,
Here it is right here.
I couldn't ask any questions. It was what they said. We need you to show up on this day,
Do that.
this time. We don't know what's going to happen. Show up, be here. We'll pay you for gas mileage. We don't know what it's going to look like.
How
And
much did
boom.
they offer?
They didn't tell me, and I didn't ask.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to mess up anything.
I would do the same thing.
When it comes to the business,
same thing.
they don't ask questions. The real industry, they don't ask questions. They ask you to show up, and that's all they ask you to do.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You ask questions, you seem fearful, they won't call you back. That is just the business between those that make it and those that won't. So, here's how the music tour started. I was taking pictures on my cell phone for the last several years.
Yeah.
And I used a $7.99 editing software called Pixay Pro.
Okay.
It's an editing
use
software
CapCut.
for photos. And this was years ago.
In Canva.
And because I would shoot my own pictures and edit them,
Please use my photos.
people would see the pictures, and then one person that hooked me up with Styles P, said, Shawn, I'm going on a music tour. I would like to have you as a photographer. And I'd like you to come out. I got a couple, Jim Jones music artists. I want you to, do photography for her and all that stuff. And I wanted to tell him, I don't know how to do photography. I just use my cell phone. I wanted to tell him the truth. But I'm like, I don't want to tell him the truth.
And you don't.
So
You
I'm
really
like,
don't have to.
if I got
This
this
is
far
insane.
off a cell phone, and the cell phone is a cell phone I have in my pocket. It's a Galaxy S9.
Oh my God.
The cell phone is 10
Galaxy.
years old.
Yeah, that's
Shout out to Androids all day. Android all day. Fuck Apple.
So it's 10 years old, but I use an editing app, and that's where the work was. I used so much of what I
This is crazy.
was gifted at using the app,
is
$7.99
crazy.
app.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll go on tour. Now I'm picking up this camera, trying to figure out how to actually do photography. Click. I don't know what the thing
Is it
is.
T7?
Yeah, T7, yeah. So that's the way it happened.
Shouts
It
out
was
to T7s.
Opportunities that presented itself.
This is like 2015. Like, I was like shooting. Like, my friend was like, "Hey, you did a great job filming us. I'll bring you on with me on tour to Hartford when I play there." And I did the exact same thing that you said too. I didn't ask for any money or anything. They were like, we just want you here.
Right. So if you guys want to book gigs, whoever you want to work with that comes to town, go on social media, reach out to them, let them know who you are, what you're doing. What I told them was that I'm shooting the arts and entertainment documentary.
I need to start doing that.
And I'm looking to promote Connecticut music artists.
I procrastinate a lot. I just
And-
start doing it. I do that a lot.
Right.
I do that. I hate it.
And then I also said, and I would also give you the footage if you guys would like. And I'd like to promote you guys as well as what I'm doing. And I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. Here's my background and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's going to hit somewhere. It's going to land somewhere. So that's what it is. Very professional in my approach. And a door will open for you. you know?
Yeah. And to attest to what he's saying, absolutely facts.
all facts.
Majority of like the guests I get
the
on
one-on-one,
is
if you
because
want it,
I
if you-
DM'd
yeah.
them. The other rest is when the agency hit me up and be like, "Hey, you want to interview this guy?" But majority is literally just DM. They'll literally respond.
True.
Literally respond.
And
Absolutely facts. A
striving
lot of
for
people don't
this.
believe that. They just be like, "What? You just hit them up?"
Oh yeah, it's,
I was like,
it's
"No,
right there.
it's not
You
true."
can just talk to anybody
starting
now.
from this, how did you guys meet?
Oh well, we kind of talked about that with our work,
Yeah.
and mental health. That was we got to BGV. I got there in 2015, so you were probably already there, right? 2015, 2016.
I got there 2016.
2016. Yep. So 2015.
You worked
2016.
at the same place?
Yeah.
Same company, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Silver Lake?
Oh, no.
no. Boys and Girls Village.
Oh,
Right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how we met. We didn't work in the same unit, but we still worked for the same company. And then years later, I saw that you posted that you were working on a short film, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
How long is the short film?
Yeah, how long is it?
So I'll tell you about the film.
He's even asking.
I'm gonna answer that, but from BGV
Yeah.
to our last job to working a short film. So I'm working third shift at our
Yeah.
job, and I'm working. I don't know if it was a 10-hour shift.
Oh,
at
you
the
worked
time.
overnight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't live a life working 10-hour
I
shifts.
feel you, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
crazy. Yeah.
All the stuff that I'm doing right now, while we're working overnight at BGV,
Busting all asses.
right?
Yeah.
I'm there for a year or two, but the thing is, what catapulted me is every night I was working there, I was praying to God. God, bless me with a better job, another job. Bless me with a job that I can travel. I don't have to have no.
Yeah, but can't you do that on your own though?
What?
Find a better job. Do what you want to do instead of hearing someone say that.
It's hard.
Not about-
It's hard
you know what I
working
mean?
10-hour shifts. 10-hour shifts, and then having a child as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a
Oh, you
child.
got kids?
Yeah,
Congratulations.
so thank you. So everything broke down in my life when I asked for that prayer.
Oh,
because
really?
in order for me to get there, I couldn't do it working 40 hours, 10-hour shifts because I got my kids on the weekend. And I would
So
never left
hard.
the job because I needed a paycheck.
This is what I want. Like, listen to this.
So
yeah.
to make a long story short, God allowed me. I would like to say it was me, but God allowed me to get
It was
fired.
you. I mean, yeah. Oh,
fired.
what the? Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I wasn't expecting that.
Man, cook.
Yes.
I didn't-
I wasn't expecting that. That's
Because
big
I
cut.
would have never left the job
Right.
unless I got fired because I wanted a paycheck. I needed a paycheck.
Right, right.
And then I wasn't going to apply for another
Praise
job.
got answered.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
That's
apply because
actually
I was so
pretty
tired. I had a
That's
routine. So me getting fired from the job, and what happened was, and I could speak about it, it's not a big deal. I was in the hallway doing like I do, praying, because I'm working overnight, and then in the morning comes, you sit in the hallway and you kind of watch the kids in the hallway.
Yeah.
And my eyes are closed, and I'm praying to God, just thank you for this day. Just bless me to get another, job out of here. And as my eyes are closed, a client kicks me, and I just reflected and put my leg up, and it hit the client, and they're like, Shawn.
You got fired for that?
Yes, they're like, Shawn. Well, it's all on camera too. So they're like, Shawn, we saw what happened. You didn't abuse or hurt
You
a
were
kid,
praying.
but you did hit a kid. But it was a natural reflection. You hit me around my
Yeah,
leg.
Yeah,
or
right
thigh,
there. Yeah,
and my
yeah.
eyes were closed, so I was praying, and the client kicked me, and that was my natural response. I didn't mean to kick the child, but they saw it and was like,
Badass
yeah, Shawn,
kid.
Did he bust his ass?
Huh?
Did he bust his ass?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well,
I would have been like, yeah.
It wasn't even a kick. You just probably went like that.
that's exactly what
And he
happened.
tripped.
Right. So they review the cameras and say, Shawn, well, you had contact, and I was like, it was a reflex.
Yeah.
But there's
Your eyes
nothing I
were
could have done.
closed too. Yeah, you're
My
praying.
eyes, and they saw what happened. Now, you'd get into a lot of trouble
crazy.
for abusing someone, but when someone hits you and you respond back,
Oh, yeah, you
and
said
it's
that-
not
you
like
said
I was
that too.
angry, and they're like, hey, we saw that, the kid kicked you, and you lifted you didn't kick the kid, you
It
reflexed.
was a
That's
reflex.
what-
It wasn't your
and,
fault.
And that's what happened, and I got fired. And
That's crazy.
while I got fired, during that time, me losing everything, my car getting repossessed, I found another job. And then a lady at this job told me, she said, life changed for me when I just told God to do whatever you needed to do. And I'm like, damn.
I might need to
I
do
know
that.
what that's going to look like for me.
I mean,
And then
that's
I
serious.
looked at it, and my encouragement came from a lot of women. Once the woman told me that it was an old lady I was helping, after that, I prayed, God, whatever you need to do, just do it. That's when my car got repossessed. That's when I couldn't work no more. That's when I had to start from.
How long ago was this?
This was probably had to be about. I want to say.
Oh, it's probably like a long time ago.
Eight
Oh, okay.
years ago.
Okay,
about
okay.
8 years ago.
And you bounce back,
Call
and
him old.
are you happy with the results?
Of course, but that is exactly that's what will happen. Your true success will come after the breakdown. So let's just
Facts.
say
You're right.
everything you guys want to happen now. Let's just say this is the day you want all those doors to open. Those doors will open for you, but there's got to be a reset. Everything in your life is going to reset, and your life will never be the
I've
same.
been calling for resets.
That being said, with that reset that you experience, you're going to work with celebrities, you're going to meet celebrities, you're going to make movies, you're going to make millions of dollars, but everything's going to change. That means family and friends. Expect them gone.
Oh, I know
Because they
that
cannot
for
go
a
where
fact.
you're going. Do you know how many people are like, hey, Shawn, can you take me to meet the celebrity?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, long last died. I haven't seen you in 18 years. When you met Kris for the movie, Did you already know what part you wanted him to play, or you just like, oh, go here, do this, do this?
So based on what you just said, answering your question, I was able to discern the reason why I met Kris. He said to me, I see your vision, and he was willing to work.
Yeah.
I told Kris a couple days ago, we're going to be millionaires. So that leads me into your futures as I talk about the movie real quick. If you guys tell God what I told you guys and ask him to do what he needs to do, because he's got to get you in position to get what you're asking for, then you're going to notice things change around you. Things are going to fall apart because he has to rebuild you guys.
As a non-religious person, I'm gonna actually try that.
Right. So
That's not.
the reason why
My dad is a pastor, by the way.
so the reason why I say that is because
That last is crazy, Jamar.
if you're putting that out into the universe, do what you have to do. Whatever that needs to be done has to get
What
done.
if
Right.
What if you believe?
Are you listening to what he's saying?
I believe.
I
in the
feel like you're
universe.
not listening.
Because every watch this,
Are you
watch-
listening?
I am. But every time I'm going through a dark time in my life,
Okay.
I always say the universe has my back, and it always has my back.
Yeah, you're praying.
Always has my
You're
back.
praying.
So that's your God. That's
Yeah.
God.
Always has my back.
So what I will say, and I'm getting to everything that you're saying,
Yeah,
but there's going to be a part two.
We
Is
got time.
what I'm going to say is,
We got mad time, man.
for me to do what I'm doing faithfully and believe in it, even though God gave me the visions, now there's deep revelation I can give you, but we're going to stay on the surface.
Okay. Yeah.
The things that I'm doing was revealed to me. That means I visually saw it. So I knew it was real because it was for me.
prophetic.
Right. But that was for me. And nothing can give you that vision unless someone has a clear picture to give to you to have it.
I've seen some
So you
visions
don't
before
see
in my
me
life.
acting crazy, stressing out about stuff because I know I have a path and process. So just talk to you guys real quick. If you guys ask God to do what he needs to do and the change happens, you guys are going to be automatically successful at whatever it is you're trying to do. It will happen for you. That means it's already predestined for you. Because what you're saying is, I'm trying to get to a place and I need help getting there. If it's not for you, you'll never get there. If it's for you, you'll get there.
Yeah.
So when I told Kris we're going to be millionaires, the route is independence right now. Working on everything independent.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
the gift is there, the work is there, and we're going to be rich, wealthy, and successful if we do things the right way, humbly. So that is my word for you guys, is that you guys will be rich, wealthy, and successful too if you stick to the script and program, being humble and doing things with a pure heart and intentions. But it will take more time because the industry is very disgusting.
I mean, if you think about it now on the
very
TikTok
disgusting.
apps, these Instagrams, people are getting paid millions for a reel.
Right.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
People get paid on TikTok.
They're
dude.
all
Not millions.
They're all
though.
little
There's
millionaires
maybe
walking
like
around.
Yes.
200K.
On TikTok,
Yeah,
I don't know about.
but
they're
I don't know about
getting up to
Instagram,
a
but on
million, though.
TikTok, there are millionaires on TikTok.
Wow.
Yes.
I actually didn't know
Over
that.
a 5-second
I don't know
reel.
about Instagram, but
Wow.
TikTok, they're
Isn't
straight
it
up
crazy
millionaires.
compared to a long, stern, traumatic experience of making a movie
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
you're not even gonna reach a million maybe until like 2 years after that. You got people
Right.
getting it like in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
So also,
That's crazy.
when it comes to that, because this is such a very difficult thing for people
This era
to,
is
to,
I think
want
difficult, but
to understand.
Sean, you're my
You
I
know,
ain't lying.
like, what we're talking about is taking the trauma and dealing with the trauma. Basically, what we're talking.
I kind of like trauma.
and using
Makes
the
you
trauma
stronger.
to not keep you deeper in chaos, but to uplift you into becoming what you supposed to be, basically.
Perfect. I have the answer for you for that.
There we go.
You're asking all the right questions. I'm going to talk about the movie real quick and how it happened.
Oh no, it's okay. yeah.
I want to get into this, but movie time.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how it happened. Me doing all this arts and entertainment documentary.
What made you want to make the movie, though? We got to start from there.
Way too many
Hold
questions.
on. He's about to answer.
The beginning. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
He's
Go ahead.
cooking right now.
Sorry.
So me doing arts and entertainment documentary, working with celebrities, I started saying, let me incorporate art into it. And then that's when I started, pitching an art show. All this stuff that I'm doing, I'm helping other people with their stuff. No one's offering to pay me anything. They're looking to get paid.
It makes sense.
And that's how I know they won't be successful because they're not doing it with the right motive and intention. So I'm helping everyone out. And while I'm helping other people, I'm leveraging what they're using as power for me. And that's where we're going to talk about trauma, leveraging other people's power to your benefit. We're going to talk about that. So as I'm pitching having an art show, Lisa reaches out to me, and I went to high school with Lisa too in Bristol. That's how she knew me. I didn't know her.
Did you know that?
She reaches out to me for like a 20th year reunion, and I'm like, I don't remember this girl. Right? She's kind of like, I remember you. But then she's an artist, and then she reaches out, saying, "Hey, Shawn, I know you're having the art show in West Haven. Let me know."
She's already an artist, all right?
Yeah, she's already an artist. So
it all ties in.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm shooting an arts entertainment documentary. Can I record you? She's like, sure. I go to her house, and then she shows me, she's like, Shawn, yeah, I'm an artist, but you know what? I also do props, I'm like, for what? She goes, yeah, for Halloween and stuff, I do props. She goes, come to my shed. Opens up a shed, and all I see is a whole bunch of movie props.
That's so sick.
Of just stuff.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And I'm like,
that's so sick.
What are you doing with all this? She's like, yeah, I just do this every year for Halloween. I'm like, you have a whole movie set in your...
I want you in my movie.
And then she's like, yeah, I like doing this stuff. I'm very passionate about it. I'm like, you ever thought about shooting a movie? With all this stuff?
You got all that stuff.
She's like, well, true. I build sets, and I like doing that stuff. And I'm like, well, with everything you're telling me about with your props and all that stuff, what if we just shoot a movie, And she's like, yeah, that's cool, it's fine. I'm like... she's telling me about the history of her house. The movie's called The Haunting in Terryville, Connecticut, Part 1.
You need to tell us why you made that.
He's going into that.
Getting there, man.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He's literally talking about the main actress of the movie. The main actress of the movie is Lisa. Lisa
I'm really intrigued. I'm hella interested.
You good. You want point.
So, Lisa is like, yes. What I could tell from Lisa was kind of like, yeah, Shawn, if you say so. And I was like, if you say so, it's a go. Mm-hmm. So she starts telling me stories about her house.
In Terryville.
Yeah, in Terryville. In her mother's house that, she grew up in, it being haunted, really haunted.
Yeah.
And then her house being haunted too. Damn. And
oh, hell no.
So this is an original story.
Yeah.
Yes, it's based on true events. Yeah. So what I did was I took the nonfiction of the story, which was her story, and I incorporated her story, and then I added fiction to it to come up with a storyline. So that being said, the movie was shot, at the haunted houses, which was her mom's house and her house.
Was that in the trailer when she was at the house?
Yes. So I have it all in the trailer. I did a few trailers.
I've seen a couple trailers.
Right. And I'll have Lisa tell you more about the story when you have her on and stuff like that, about the hauntings and all that stuff.
Well, you want her to be in the movie, the new movie.
But of course,
and we want you to direct it.
I will tell you that her mother's house that is haunted had people from Paranormal Activity, the show. Yeah.
Really?
They came to her house to do the show there, and I'm paraphrasing. They came to the mother's house where shot.
Shawn crazy. Like this guy knows everybody.
You was in there.
Damn.
So you was
shot
in that
house.
Yeah, Chris was there too. Yeah. We shot it. Yeah, inside the house.
You were right what you just said.
Both of the houses were
opening doors. Sure. 50 Cent to like activity in the house.
We shot
what?
So the thing is, we shot it.
This that guy right here.
I would have never done it, but because I needed the shot, and I needed
you said you wouldn't do it.
No, I want to.
Yeah, nigga. Well, fuck the demons. I'm a demon too.
So because of the vision, I already knew that I was protected.
Right.
But I wasn't taking any chances.
That's why
Kris showed up. But when we actually went to the haunted house, though, it was definitely during the daytime.
Okay, good.
But let me just...
This is the daytime. Was it nighttime?
So, the guy from Paranormal Activity, the show, and I'm looking here like, you mean to tell me the guy came from the show? He's like, yeah, they came to the house, and...
Look at all these people you met.
And what happened was...
That's crazy.
Lisa's mother tells us, she's one of the actors in the movie, her name is Betsy. She says, Yeah, so the guy from Paranormal Activity, the TV show, one of the producers or photographers, was tired that night or whatever, or, and may have been drinking.
Oh, no.
And got tired and went to sleep in the house.
And died?
Knowing that the house is haunted.
He died?
He went to sleep in the house. And they're giving us the whole story about why it's haunted. The guy is asleep. And all of a sudden, Lisa, I think, says her mom's on the second floor and sleeping. And her mom hears a yell, a scream. And she's like, oh, what's that? And Lisa's mom comes down and she's like, what's happening? And the guy from Paranormal Activity is like, I saw a ghost looking right at me. It was a little girl sitting right on the steps.
Nice.
That's like a smile.
Nice.
And they talk about the house
Very
being
nice.
haunted and it not liking men for some reason.
Dog.
So a lot
Sexist.
But who you with?
so what I'm actually telling you, this story is actually in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So we recorded in the movie. So a lot of what's being said that Lisa gave us story, that story's in the movie in part 1. So it's an introduction to everything.
I would love to do a parody of like some scary shit, like scary movie.
So yes, so we shot it in this, but I made sure I had assistants going to the bathroom. I'm like,
What? You that scared, Sean?
Dude,
Come on.
dude, this is a haunted house.
Yeah, you don't play with that, man.
so, and the
Man,
thing
put
is,
him in there.
I want to face my demons.
but
Hold
here's
out.
but here's the thing.
I'm gonna showcase it.
But here's the thing. The haunted house didn't like men.
Oh, yeah, it's sexist.
Well, what if I? What was it? Cut that out.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. But yeah.
So knowing that the haunted house does not like men, how do you think they feel about me?
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Oh, well, you're a man, so they're about like,
yeah.
well,
Yeah, yeah. You're a target.
So what happens is if you're there at night,
Uh-huh.
I have a
and you are
question
man,
too. I have a question
and you
for
are
you
a
too.
stranger, they say that the ghost will haunt you out of there. For some reason, it just doesn't like men. Maybe because, the people that lived there before, there could have been a death or something.
Yeah.
But that is something that has been made clear, which is why I incorporated scenes from the story into the movie. Where
I like the shots too. 'Cause I do like the shots.
that being said, let me get into the AI part and then get back to
Because
what
the
you were
monster
saying.
was that an AI monster in the. It looked like it.
Yeah, so I want to get into that now, real
But
quick.
yeah, never mind.
So it was all just practice. The movie is only 24 minutes long in total.
Ooh, okay,
and
cool.
I have no prior experience with directing, filming, and acting and all that stuff. That being said, even though people don't believe that stuff like horror is something that is of God, what I'm saying is that you can be blessed and gifted with a talent to do something, although it may not be used to do what certain people may think it should be used for.
I agree.
So if you're good at making music, and you come from a church, and you make a secular song like a hip hop song, it doesn't mean you're evil.
Yeah.
You're making music. That gift was given to you to sing.
Yeah.
So the reason why I knew that the movie was a blessing from God is because Kris acting. I'm trying to.
What do you think of his acting?
I'm trying to figure out who was the best actor.
I'll give an answer.
So what I will tell you is, all the acting was pretty much done on one take. If there was another take, it was because of maybe the camera angles. But all the acting was perfect. When I say perfect,
Like continuous take, basically.
well, all the shots are pretty much 1 or 2 takes. All the shots, and the acting was it was perfect. So I wish I knew that this was gonna be this, because I could have just beamed it to the TV. I could just cast it, the video to the TV, and we could just watch. That being said,
Oh, I don't have a newer TV, so don't even worry about that.
It's the movie
It's an old
done
TV.
Old school
editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, how old is? Well, I think
That's
we can still
old as
cast.
hell.
Yeah, don't even.
You could cast it, but
I
well,
have
yeah,
the actual
PS4.
cast.
Yeah.
It's the movie done.
So the movie is done. Part 1 is done.
Is there a release date for it?
So
And can you tell us exclusive on Studio 3A?
yeah, so yeah, I will give you exclusive information concerning the movie in that process. This is something that Kris doesn't know, but this ties into. So actually, no one knows this, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna.
Exclusive.
Right. So the movie's finished, and the whole idea
And
was.
apparently you edited the whole thing yourself?
Yeah, I did everything.
Woo.
Yeah, Kris developed the music. He sent me the music.
How much of his music is in the movie?
So in part 1, I would say about 25% of his music's on there. And I had to alter that. So some of the music I had to slow it down. for
Yeah,
some of the
yeah.
scenes.
Oh,
That's
okay,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
So yes, so his music is in there, and it was practice. I was still learning, I'm still learning now.
This is your first movie too, so
First
of
movie.
of course.
Right. So everything was shotgun and run to the best I can.
Yeah.
So the next movie that we shoot, your movie will be 10 times better. Everything will be
Who wants you
better.
to direct it?
Also, because I wanted to make sure that Lisa showed up. So when she was available, I had to shoot. And the thing is, we shot like 45 minutes to an hour. 2 hours at most.
That scene that him and Lisa was walking and you were filming, how long did that take?
It took maybe about 10, 15 minutes.
It wasn't long.
But it was freezing outside.
Yeah, it was cold.
And
yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be that windy, or I would have had a microphone, or we could have done it on another day.
Yeah.
So all that was like run and gun stuff.
so-
And that was the very last scene in the movie.
What mic do you use when you were recording?
So-
Or what kind of mic did you use?
So it would have been a wireless lavalier,
Yeah.
lavalier mic, which are very inexpensive,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Chris talked about using another sound system by using the mic.
Yeah,
we'll
to make
figure-
sure.
We can use the boom, and also too, we could also get the magnet mics, but it's like it wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be on camera with the mics. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah,
that
cover
being
it,
said,
yeah.
I will tell you this: getting into the AI. So
Oh, yes.
that is something that I have been using a lot lately.
I figured.
And I don't want to give away all my secrets because I've been doing stuff that.
don't. This is VR.
No.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Have to.
So what I will tell you is, I was going to download a program, a special effects program for monsters, and then I told my daughter the update to my software has AI where I can turn images.
It's live
Right,
viewing,
right.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Which is just crazy. This is stuff they're using in Hollywood. So I was going to pay $100 to get that software.
On Claude, wait, is it Fox? No, it's not Foxword. It's not Claude AI. Because
You don't want to reveal all his
I know. Because I'm also kind of diving into AI, like trying to learn the coding. Because I have friends that learn AI coding, or where they can make characters or anything just by coding. So I kind of want to learn that, but
So I have a very simple program that I use, which is Filmora, which is pretty much like a copy paste. It's the easiest form of video editing.
okay.
Even though there are technicalities to it. The last scene of the movie,
I want to see the movie.
I
man.
tell my daughter, I'm like,
I want to watch it.
I'm gonna download this, film pack for these monsters, and then my daughter's like, Dad, but don't you have AI software on your laptop? And I was like,
And she already knows.
yeah. So what I did was, I just went online, saw some monsters, copy pasted the monster, put it into my computer,
And it made it move.
and I made the AI. And what I can do is, here's the crazy thing about AI. I can tell the AI what I want the image to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You're in full control.
Shouts out
Right.
to Deep
So
Seek.
I can take.
What I do.
You're in full control.
So what I can do is, even though I'm not revealing secrets, what I can do is I can take a picture of me and Kanye West and have Kanye West shaking hands with me, and you never know who it was. And what the thing is, I tell AI, I write in the computer what I want the AI monster to
They do it.
So I can do that with anything now, which is amazing. And it all comes with the software. But to a certain extent, you do have to pay after so many uses of it.
Yes.
You have to pay to use the AI, which is amazing.
So Chris has said too
It
about
costs a lot of money to do what we're doing right now in this business. Let me tell you that
for the
from
next
experience.
movie. So for the next movie, because I kind of brought up, if you have trouble in this scene, maybe you should put it in AI. But he also said, and I've been doing research too. You really shouldn't show the AI what you're doing because it might take it and maybe steal it for someone else to.
Well,
to
that's
take
going to
it.
happen regardless. This is why there's a lot of lawsuits between videographers.
Because I think the script should be all
And
authentic
artists.
from their brain. You know what I mean?
Especially artists. Artists are pissed about this.
Yeah,
thing.
they're gonna lose their jobs.
So what I will say
That's the
is,
scary part.
Yeah.
I only used AI on that monster.
What about
That-
what about the KB Toys screen? Was that AI or you did that?
Also,
When it flashed, it said KB Toys, and then
well, that's film stock, so that's free.
Yeah,
Is-
flash stock.
I thought that was
Okay.
AI. Oh, that's
So yeah, once you buy a program, everything that comes with the program for film stock is free. That being said, there are tools like music that you may have to
Suno.
pay for.
It's called Suno. You can do it for free.
So what I also
Trust me.
use is I also paid on the software as well to use their music. So there's another version of the movie coming out as well too, where I have to take out all the music that I use that's not licensed.
We got beats too. I got a lot of beats I can potentially put in the movie.
So that being said, the music that I did use in that, the music that I personally used, not the sound effects, the music that I used, I had to pay in the software to use that music, and you tell.
I thought he had music.
Then you sign. Well, that's
he
not what I'm
said
talking
that- he
about.
said he-
the music that I used from the software.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
Right, I have to pay to use that music from someone that licensed and put it up there.
Right.
But then that has to be used for a specific use. It will say YouTube, and it will tell you how many platforms you can use it on. Because once that movie goes out there,
Yeah.
whatever algorithm is going to watch that movie, if it finds music that's not paid for, they will sue you.
Yes.
What do you
So-
want to?
That's a very important. That's why I'm very, very.
Right.
What do you want to put
touchy
the
on that.
movie on? Like, what's your goal on when you release this? What do you want it on? What platform would you want it on?
So the good news with the movie is because it's practice, it's not going to be released the same way as a movie that I would release on Tubi.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
for one, the movie's only 24 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it has to be a certain length of time
Do
to
you have
be
a
on
YouTube channel?
there. Huh?
They have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I may put it on YouTube, but so actually it's gonna go on YouTube because I have it licensed for YouTube.
Oh, really?
But
oh,
that
shit.
being said, it's only
good.
licensed for one YouTube channel. It gets very technical. So this is the business part of it.
Damn. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the whole thing with Tubi, the difficult
I am.
part about navigating it
I
is
know I'm fucking with you.
I made it sound so easy to everyone. Oh, I'm gonna put it on Tubi. I'm gonna do this, and it sounded so easy. The technical part behind that is you got to work with the distribution company.
Yes.
You got to work with actual Tubi. The
Yes.
distribution wants his cut.
Yeah.
20%.
They all want money. They all want money.
20%.
Yeah. Well, this guy wants a little bit more. You know.
Oh,
so
shit.
I'm glad.
What's his name?
So
You can call him out. What's his name?
So I will tell you the story. So Tubi wants their cut. So I'm thinking everything is good. But as time starts winding down and the movie's done, I'm like, hey, so what are we gonna do with the movie? I'm telling him, how long it is. He's like, let me get back to Tubi and tell him how long it is, and I'll get back to you. Guy never gets back to me, and then for some reason,
That's crazy, man.
we're supposed
Get back
to
you. That's crazy.
get the movie going along. And I am waiting to hear back from this guy. This guy's going to tell me, hey, Shawn, just let you know, I going to get back to you soon so we can get started on the movie and start making some money. I'm like, shoot. He's like, yeah, by the way, someone else that I was working with, was getting checked for $47,000 for the movie that we did together. So I'm like all from streaming, just from Tubi. They put the movie out.
Tubi is
and-
free, right? Apparently.
Yeah, I
have
believe
ads.
it's free. Yeah, but it's ads. So I guess the way Tubi works is once you have a distributor to put it on the platform, they put it up there for about 4 to 6 months. They generate the income. Tubi gets the money. They hold the money. Then they give it to the distributor. Then the distributor gives it to you. That being said, you have to trust the distributor because based on whatever they're getting paid, which is something that they know because they have an algorithm analytics chart.
Make sure you pay
You have to make sure you know what the distributor's getting paid for your movie because Tubi's going to release the movie to whoever is getting distributed by,
Facts.
and then to you. So then you have to trust who you're working with.
Yep.
That being said, the way God would have it was, the guy never got back to me about Tubi, and he just started ignoring my.
You didn't send him the movie,
messages.
right?
Huh?
You didn't send him the movie.
No, I never sent him the movie.
Okay, good.
I was waiting to hear back from him.
Okay, good.
And the way it happened is, up until the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't heard back from him. He just completely ghosted me, but he's still on social media. So that being said,
Wow.
I shot promo commercial for him. I worked with him with celebrities. I've done all this work for free. He said he was going to pay me. Never paid me. And, the Young Jeezy show that was just recently, I was supposed to be there getting paid to record Jeezy. And he ghosted me and never paid me.
Wait,
And
Jeezy's whack anyway, so it
that
doesn't
was,
really matter.
that was that. So that was one door that closed, which led me
Let's
to
be honest,
believe
Jamar.
and know that we were supposed to work independently.
See, no, those guys.
That being said, we'll get all
Now,
the
that's a
money
very
ourselves.
important
But those are the guys you got to watch out for. Be like, oh, you did all this for me. I got you. And then they ghosts you. It's like
So on Roku TV, I have a deal where on Connect Hub that 20% of Roku,
Oh, yeah,
on there.
20% of the
Two,
revenue, and I have a
Sean,
50-50 split with the distributor itself. So
Right.
basically, the 20% of how much they see my podcast goes already to Roku, and then 50% I get back from after Roku takes 20%. It's split between me and the distributor.
So I'm gonna end.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
So I'm gonna end my conversation off on this note.
Don't do it.
Oh no. The note is gonna have you guys all thinking. But before I end it, let me talk to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he said this. He has a sermon called "I Didn't Know I Was Me."
Mm-hmm.
I did not know what I was capable of. In that, he tells you exactly what your purpose is. The reason why you're rejected and neglected and you go through everything that you're going through is because you're being separated from the crowd to independently be a chosen person to lead people to greatness and help them on their way. Because like I said, I haven't really met people that have helped me. They've asked for stuff and I've helped them, and I've used what they've used from me as leverage. I took their energy.
You think I was with the handing help or the helping hand? I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. I'm not asking anything. I'll help you out.
So what I'm saying is, over time, I started to think about how I could leverage all the negative energy in this world and make it work for me.
Please tell me how,
And I came up with a formula for it. And the formula was given to me by scripture, me reading the Bible, in the words of what Jesus said. And what I had to do, what makes it difficult for people, is you only recognize truth when it starts to apply to you. When they say, I'll give you an example. When the Bible talks about those that are merciful shall obtain mercy, that means instead of me blowing up someone's spot, if I humbly let it go, the thing that I need issues with or need help with, God will give me the grace to get through it. So as I'm learning to be merciful and not blowing up people's spots, helping people out, Drake said it too. Drake said, I did all the favors.
Drizzy.
Yeah. He said, I did all the favors, and that's how he became successful. It's all the work that you did. DJ Envy said when he went on tour with celebrities, he didn't get paid at first. It was just exposure. So what I'm saying is, you have to find out, and this is what a lot of people do, you have to find out what the other person's weakness is and not exploit it, but use it to your advantage. I'm sure Floyd Mayweather does that.
Yeah.
So when you find someone else's weakness, help them in their weakness, but use it to your benefit. If someone is good at videography but not good at photography, use your photography in a way where you can gain leverage by, let's just say we're shooting a movie.
We just gotta work together.
And you get pictures of, what you're doing. The pictures that I captured got me the jobs that I did. So as I'm working with celebrities, I'm taking pictures, and it builds leverage. People think I'm an official photographer. I wasn't a photographer.
You are.
When I started doing
You are though. You might not think you are, but
Yeah, you are now. You are
So
now.
you know that, right, Sean?
Right. I know that now. So
You are a photographer.
So what I'm saying now is, with trauma, when I hit 40, I made a decision.
40.
Yes.
I think you're my age.
So,
I'm 30. I'm 36.
You're 40.
What?
when I hit 40 2 years ago,
Damn. I mean, not damn as in like.
Let the man finish.
Yeah, you old too. You old.
so
I got old.
I knew that nothing was going to happen until I made the change. Nothing was going to happen. I had to change. And I realized with the world,
It's got to be you.
the world has systems and the world has changes. A lot of people try to live in their own world or their own head trying to make things work for them.
Right.
The truth is the world has a system you have to get acclimated to, and then you build within that realm. So it's like the Matrix. What the Matrix really came from is actually a biblical term. And it was a biblical term meaning the spirit, meaning that all the hidden things in the spirit that you can't see is in a matrix. So when you see people calling things out of thin air and they become wealthy, successful, they've opened up a paradigm in the matrix where they're able to speak things and pull things from. So when I say we're going to be millionaires, it was already destined because it was in me. I believed it and I spoke it and I lived in it.
Goal,
and it came to me. So
Do you
what
care that much about money like that?
So I don't care about the money. It's just the money is
the
an
intention.
inheritance for
I know.
the
like,
money is an inheritance for everything my generations didn't get.
Mm.
So
Right.
if my generation
question.
had a long line of broke people,
Yeah.
someone has to inherit what generationally
my
would have
family
been
broke now.
Yeah.
Right. And my brother told me this. It was already prophesied years
The
ago
fact
what
that
I'd
your
be
brother's
doing.
name was Art, and like you're doing art entertainment, that's biblical and crazy in a great way.
So yes,
He will always live on
right,
with
right.
his name, which is amazing to hear, though.
Yeah, so there's way more we'll talk about. But so we just touched on that a little bit with the trauma, and I will tell you guys how to transform trauma and negative energy because Drake did it. He said he did all the favors.
Thank you.
And if he didn't tell me, I would not have known that he worked for free and he did all free promotion for people.
Yeah, I mean,
and then he became
Kendrick's
the
big
wealthiest.
because of Drake, because Kendrick was on this tour and J. Cole too. A lot of rappers,
Right.
Got to
He
give him
did all the
respect.
favors.
I acknowledge that.
And that's what I did. And it's because of
What a hater.
listening to Drake, listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes, I implemented what they said and it worked. Now, the last part I'm going to say, because I don't want to take up too much time, is for you guys. We just talked about distribution and Tubi and all that stuff.
Yes.
The biggest challenge you guys are going to have, when I say challenge, it may not be a challenge, but here's something for you to think about.
Getting out there?
Because
Sorry.
my documentary will probably be the first real product I do because I have another movie I want to shoot either during the shooting time with you guys or after the movie. But I have to write it. It's going to be another dark horror because with all that,
I love horror, man.
with
I love horror
with all that AI stuff now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm headed somewhere now.
Yeah.
Like a
So
slasher right here.
the movie that I shot, The Haunted in Taylorville, Connecticut, Part 1, that was practice. Now I can make a lot of this crazy stuff come to
Part
life
2 is
now.
going to be even better.
Yeah.
Right, it's going to be. As long as everyone's on board, and I'm not meaning you, I have to make
Yeah.
sure everyone's on board
Yeah.
with it. Mainly Lisa.
Yeah.
You know,
How did you get him behind the bar at that bar? Did you call the guy who was like, hey, can I shoot a movie here?
so Lisa is the set director, and she set that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
shit. Okay.
But
Damn,
it was
we got-
all it
we
was
got-
all a blessing from God, though. Like it all happened perfectly, all the acting and all that stuff.
You got
It
everything,
was perfect.
You got everything that you kind of need in your circle.
So yeah, this is for you guys. The last thing is, you guys talked about 2B distribution, and we need to stay in contact as
Especially-
well because I want
Yes.
to put my content out there too.
We got to
Okay.
make a group chat. With all of us.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
And the reason why the movie didn't premiere is because the setback with the whole 2B and the
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
and all that stuff. So now I'm recalibrating and finding out what the best route to go is and how to premiere
That's
it.
good.
So it's a process,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
recalibrating.
Yeah.
But as far as you guys go, once the movie's all done and it's good, and what I will tell you is, I automatically knew that you were going to be a star as far as your talent with the acting.
Stop it.
So that's the good part about the
Don't
movie.
make me blush.
Because my biggest concern was, well, listen, my biggest concern was who's funny. That was my biggest concern. You know?
Yeah,
know that?
that's a good
They
point.
always, the comment sections and people that watch our show,
Hey,
they always talk about his ass.
I'm a realist, and I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say, but also being cordial at the same time.
Right. So that
Thank
being
you.
said,
They always talk about his ass.
so the biggest issue that I see is not your talent.
Oh god, I put the die.
With that, not the talent, is on the production side with your input. Because when I say challenge,
He's kind of right.
no, but here's
Let him cook.
Sorry.
Yeah, but here's the thing with the challenges. The movie's done, like I said.
Yeah.
That's the good news, is that I could say the movie's done. That's not a problem. The biggest issue you're all going to have now is after
Sharing
the
it.
movie's done, you're all going to have input. You're going to have your input on the production side, and because it's not my movie, it's your movie, it's up to you to decide how you guys are going to market it, promote it, brand it, premiere it, how you guys are going to make money from it, stream it on Tubi and all that stuff, and how you guys are going to break down the money and the streaming. Because once the money comes, it's going to be there. You guys are going to break it up. But what I'm thinking about is, how do you guys get on board with his vision for production? Because his idea with production may be acute in that he may have a vision that you guys may
And
not
I have
agree
another
with.
one.
Right. So have you guys thought about the money, the business, the streaming, the platform, and all that production stuff? Who gets the credit?
No.
Oh no, we haven't gotten
No.
there yet.
Right.
No.
I would suggest personally.
Why do you
doing-
think I'm such a visionary?
Right. So
At the same time, I feel like
Which
all
is
three of
kind
us,
of
all
probably
four
true,
of us
honestly.
are visionaries. Because obviously, like, let's say he has a vision of, or something he wants to do in the movie, right?
I go yay a lot.
Something I might not agree. but we could just work together to change it. You know what I mean?
Well, so the best thing you can do is just shoot multiple takes, shoot your take,
Right.
your take, and
Exactly.
see what the best one works for.
That's it.
That's true, but let's say the first take I didn't really agree with, but I'll shoot it.
Yeah, do
but
it.
But I like the second take better. But he also agrees with the second shoot too.
So what my
So
eyes
like,
do.
let's just shoot this.
So what I do, my eyes.
I'm ready for the camera. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, my eyes bring what you're doing to the big screen, and what I know will sell, what people are looking at. Because, like I said, for me to do what I'm doing, I learn how to study and watch people, and then put myself in their shoes. And I also learn with this business, with all the stuff that you deal with adversity, I learn how to not allow my emotions, you know, to
True.
even though you could at times, I learned not to take anything personal.
Right.
If I were you, if you wanted to make the movie work, I would do kind of like what made The Locks survive so long. And this is just my assumption. I would just do an even split of everything down the middle.
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
That being said,
Hell yeah.
We've been wanting to do this podcast for at least 3 years. We've been talking about this for 3 years to do this podcast, and then it finally happened. Like
Right.
they had done last year. It finally happened. But we were in talk. So yeah, it always comes into fruition because you talk about it. Oh, I want to do this, and then if you're confident enough, you can make it happen. Because if you're not confident, because for me it's like you gotta be confident. If you're not confident, I don't think you're gonna accomplish anything. Let's be honest here.
so am I able to say the name of the movie that you guys are working on?
Yeah, you can say it.
The taste test,
All
right?
right. So the taste test, I think we should apply that to.
I want your opinion also on the script as well.
So I think we should apply the name, the name taste test to.
Bad name, huh? See? Yeah.
To
Shut up.
He's not thinking it. I'm just
Well,
saying
let
that-
him say it so
I'm
we
just
can-
saying that loud. You're getting mad at me.
Just talking while he's talking, so it doesn't make sense.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm right.
You
That's
are
all.
sorry. Yeah.
Well,
So-
I was right though.
All right, y'all.
so that being said,
Get mad at
50
me.
Cent said the most profitable means to make money is to make.
Sorry.
So yes, with the movie taste test,
Yeah.
my idea was a very short film, just pure comedy. And I've already got it in my head.
What do you think about improv?
So
Maybe improv some line. Wait, keep going. Sorry.
right, so I would liken it to the movies that we were talking about. I've already had it in my mind.
Okay.
Just pure funniness. So that's why I think it's important to have the script down.
Yeah.
So once you guys figure out what it is going to look like,
I kind of have an idea already because I kind of want to because like he said
We haven't
too,
really all talked about
Yeah.
it.
I know, but
Altogether.
right.
like
I
for
haven't read the
example, like
script yet.
right now how he's filmed the podcast, right? So we film the podcast, and then after the podcast is done, the movie camera comes out. It shows us like a third person, like us getting out, like getting up. Then I go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I forgot I got these gummies. And like you said too, I can name someone like some crazy. You said part two. We could like go where they're at.
Yeah.
But my dark humor or dumb humor, I got it from a guy from Russia that has a lab in Chernobyl. Because, that's a place that you don't go to, right? Because it's mad with chemicals. That's for me, I think that's hilarious and just dumbfounded.
so
As hell.
so all you have to do is focus on the funny. You have these
Yes,
guys
yes.
that you're gonna have to go through first because I
Oh,
don't.
I know. I know. Oh, I know.
I feel like y'all told him how crazy I am.
No.
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 Because he looking at me like you have a vision and a structure in your mind very much. Like, is that what you're saying?
So here's what I wanted. Here's what I
Like,
wanted
you're
to
a
do.
bad man.
So
You're a madman
what I did
and
with
an activist.
the movie
I'm
was
kidding.
I did not spend too much time thinking about it.
Right.
I
Did it.
had a vision. But if you are funny and you're good at something, write it down, and it doesn't have to be word for word. I'm just going to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That being said, based on how soon you guys get the script, is when we can start.
I heard you want to start shooting soon.
So we can do scene by scene as long as you guys have the script.
Yeah.
That being said, it won't work unless you guys agree, and there will be sacrifice.
Yeah, we gotta go over it.
Yeah.
That being said, I had federal jury duty last year, and what I found out with jury duty is,
I've never been in jury duty.
even though you can be 100% right, at the end of the day, every juror has to agree, or you're going to be there forever.
Yep.
So I had to learn to compromise too, and I said, okay, not guilty. Even though I felt they were guilty, I also realized where I had been wrong. There's such thing as the law, and then there are policies and procedures.
Question.
And then there's morals that,
I got-
that you gotta
right,
think
right.
about.
I
Yeah.
got jury duty in the mail at 18 years old, and I'm 35 now, and I never went to jury duty.
Don't expose yourself out like that. on
So
camera.
if I was ever get,
Let it do it.
so if I was ever get pulled over, and someone takes my license, and am I gonna have a warrant for not going to jury duty? No, right?
I don't know.
Okay, because I never went to jury duty at all.
Trying to think, you got to
Never
Google
went.
what the consequence
Never went.
is.
Never went.
They'll find you.
Yeah, they will.
shit.
They
Yeah.
will. They will.
If it really
Yeah,
mattered,
you-
they
Cut
will
this
find
part
you.
out.
No, they'll find you.
So,
If it really mattered, they'll find you.
Yeah.
truth be told,
just
and
a
I'll just be honest, and this is what I wanted to do personally. You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll talk more about it, but what I want to do is, we should have a session. We'll talk about the script.
Oh, absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
we'll start-
We're not going to do it here.
Right. And then we can all sit in the same room and
brainstorm.
write
And
for a
brainstorm.
little while.
Yeah.
And what I think is,
Yeah.
what we'll do is, we will shoot different scenes, and whatever works will work. That will cut down
Okay,
the argument
okay.
and fighting.
Yeah.
And then once the scene works, then you guys can argue amongst yourselves. See, I told you so. So you don't have to fight. And because this will be 10, 20 minutes long, we're only going to use the best, the funniest.
Okay.
And you're only going to feel good about it is because we're only looking for the best. So I think everyone should write.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm going to know what's funny.
I'm down to write.
But if you guys happen to see something I don't,
I got a
we'll
lot
work
of.
on that.
We'll work on that.
That being said,
I got a lot
is there
of
an
shit.
executive producer? Is there a writer? Is there a director?
Nah, to tell you the truth,
So
I
basically,
didn't know
he's
what
a
was
writer for
going
the
on
script.
until like a few days ago, and
Yeah.
now I'm on board.
You just know.
No, he
that's
knew
not
about-
true.
Yeah,
We've
he
been
knew
doing this
about it,
for
he just wasn't paying
maybe
attention.
Like 8 to 6 months.
Oh, okay.
This is something that he
What?
wanted to do.
Okay, maybe not that long, but but yeah.
When's
I
the last
do
thing you
have
said?
3 shows that I have to
Yeah.
video edit
Then,
and
yeah,
all.
then he got
You
like
know
3
what I
shows.
The point is the way
Podcast or 3 shows.
3 podcasts.
Isn't that crazy?
the way that I see it is that you and I would be doing most of the writing, especially the dialogue.
Yeah.
We'd be doing most of that.
Right.
See,
I figured he
see,
would
but
be.
wait.
No. I figured that Jamar would sort of help behind the camera too because he has
Well,
the gear.
if you write
He
something
has-
that I don't like, I'm gonna try to change it.
That's where he said you
I'll tell
gotta.
guys.
You can't care about your feelings too much. If
No,
there's
no,
a
no,
vision,
no,
listen. If there's a vision that's supposed to be done, just
Okay.
do it, try it, and then if it doesn't work, like he said,
How about,
try
if I,
something
don't, how about
else.
if I don't agree with it?
It doesn't matter.
Then we'll just try something else.
Nobody cares about how you feel.
Yeah, you'll
just
have
try
a
it.
chance to try something
Yeah,
else.
Thank you.
the feelings don't matter. You try it.
He said,
If it doesn't
I don't
work,
care how you feel.
yeah, you try it. If
I'm
it
down.
doesn't work, you will really know. If it
Nigga,
doesn't,
I'm down.
you will really know if it doesn't work. You'll
Yeah,
see
I'm
it.
down. I'm down.
Especially if we're all part of the process. If you see
Yeah.
it and it doesn't work, then you try.
But we all have to have a sit down where,
Of course.
we sit and
Of course, but it,
read the
but
script.
there's got to be
Here, right.
delegate. There's also got to be delegation though.
And I got
you
mad.
can't
I
have
got so many ideas.
you can't have 4 people doing lighting.
No.
Exactly.
Hell no,
So
hell no.
that's why I want you to do like lighting, some of the music. Like
Yeah.
you do that.
You said this
you
January
stick to
12th.
that. Okay. So I don't.
So we've
like
been had
four
the
or 5
script
months
January
ago.
12th.
Okay.
That's what I said.
You know what I mean? Like you do something, you help with mainly the directing and the
He's on
camera
board
stuff.
too.
you
Maybe
know?
you film something or
Yeah. The more people, the better, obviously.
Sure,
but
sure,
like
sure.
ultimately, like
I'm in.
So
as
I
long as
guess
people are delegated,
what
we
you
got it.
guys are hearing is Studio 3A.
A little spoiler. And for Sean,
be
because we're about to end it,
something
can you give
cinematic.
us a date to when the movie will drop? Terryville Horror
So The Haunting in Terryville Part 1
Part 1.
does not have a date yet. I had to recalibrate because of
mishaps that
Misinformation.
was just explained.
Yes,
Yep.
misinformation. yeah. You explained it. Yeah.
Right. Also, because it's a trilogy and it's a short, it's not the typical length.
trilogy.
It's not the typical length of a long movie. It's something that will premiere at a studio or something like a Cafe 9 or something like that.
It's still film festival worthy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Facts.
Still film festival worthy.
Always film. Yeah.
Right, there's not a date, but the work is only going to continue to get better.
Well, can you tell us a little? Do you know when?
So yes, so I'm looking. I
like
can give
2
you a date, but that's also commiserate with when everyone also is available. But I'm thinking within the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I can drop it anytime I want, and I can have private viewings and showings.
Can we go to those? Can we have a private?
Well, yeah,
Speaking
of
of
course,
it,
we better be.
I would love to.
So I asked if we can have it at Lisa's house in Terryville, but then again, just to let you know, you may not. Her house
it's haunted.
is haunted.
I don't give a fuck. I'll look those ghosts in the eyes and be like, bitch.
But what I will say is because of the nice weather, we were recording in the summer outside.
Yeah.
So they were grilling out and cooking out and all that stuff too. That's different. But I can't go to the bathroom alone in a haunted house.
I didn't even go.
Could you?
I didn't even go to the
And,
bathroom.
You never went inside.
I didn't go. Did I go?
That's
Would you
funny.
be comfortable like washing it in the house?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind.
That's
I
so
don't
funny.
mind.
And
I don't mind.
I'll say
Yeah.
this too, because I'm on vacation at the end of May of next month. I have the full week off. So once we go
Now
over
the world
script and
knows
start
that
doing
you'll
that,
be on vacation in May.
I think we should start there.
So the private viewing could be anytime.
No, let's talk about the taste test. If you want to start filming.
Oh.
Once we go over the script, I'm off that whole week, so I got a whole week to film.
I don't think that's good enough. Good enough. for
Should we wait
recording
longer?
right now? We should talk about that off camera.
Bet.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Shawn to be here. My boy Jamar, Kris is here. Studio 3A, the best original podcast in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.